Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Last week we talked about Superman and how he represents an alien god who chooses humanity. But today I want to shift gears and talk about a man who didn't come from the stars, but that came from the streets of Depression-era New York. Yep, that's right folks, we're talking about that kid from Brooklyn, Steve Rogers. Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking. Jerry, Cap is just a guy in a flag. He's a symbol of the establishment. But honestly, if you guys think that Captain America is just a government man, you're missing the point. Steve Rogers isn't a hero because of the flag on his chest. He's a hero because of the heart that's beneath it. He represents a part of us that refuses to give up, even when the odds are impossible. Now, before we dive deeper into the psychology of the shield, I want to remind you all to please like the video on your way in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because it does really help the channel out and make sure that I continue these deep dives in. So, let's take a look at the man before the serum happened. Most superheroes are defined by the moment they get their powers. For Steve, the power itself is the least interesting part of his story. Think about the kid from Brooklyn. He's sickly, he's small, and constantly getting beaten down. In every version of his story, there's a scene where he's in an alley getting pummeled by a bully twice his size. And what does he do? He gets up, wipes the blood off his face, and says, "I can do this all day." That's the core of Captain America. Heroism isn't about winning a fight. It's about refusing to stay down when you've already lost. When Dr. Erskine chose Steve for the serum, he didn't pick the strongest soldier. He chose the one who knew the true value of strength because he never had it. Steve was a hero long before he ever touched that shield. So, why is Steve Rogers such an inspiration to the regular person? It's because he faces the same struggle that all of us do. The pressure to conform. We live in a world of shades of gray, where it's easy to justify taking the easy way out. But Steve operates on a completely different level. He represents our moral North Star. There's a famous quote from the comics where he says, "When the whole world tells you to move, your job is to plant yourself like a tree and say, 'No, you move.'" That quote resonates because we've all been there. We've all felt the pressure to stay silent when something's wrong. Steve Rogers is the voice in our head that says character is what you do when no one's looking, and integrity is what you keep when everyone's watching. He's not inspiring because he can throw a shield. He's inspiring because he can't be bought. He can't be bullied, and he will not, absolutely not, be silenced. There is a sadness to Captain America that we don't often get to talk about. He's a man out of time. He lost his era, his friends, the woman he loved. He woke up in a world that was faster, colder, more cynical. But instead of becoming bitter, he becomes a bridge. He took the values of a simpler time, honor, sacrifice, truth, and he demanded that the modern world live up to them. Steve reminds us that even when the world changes, the truth doesn't. Being a good person isn't a trend, it's a constant. Whether it's 1942 or 2024, standing up for the little guy is always the right choice. That's why he's more than just a soldier. He's the conscience in an entire universe. At the end of the day, Captain America teaches us that you don't need a Super Soldier Serum to be a hero. You just need to be a person who doesn't walk away. He's the regular person's icon because he started as one of us. And in his heart, he never stopped being that kid from Brooklyn who didn't like bullies. I want to thank you all for joining me for another perspective. If this gave you a new look into the Star Spangled Adventure, don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. Your support does keep the conversation going. And if you really want to support me in the channel, please, I'll put the link below, but please click on buymeacoffee.com and that can help support me keeping these perspectives coming. All right, so until next time, folks, I want you all to stay grounded, stay honest, and remember, you don't have to be a giant to stand tall. I'm Jerry. This has been Perspectives of Jerry. I will gladly see you in the next one. You all have a great day.